Okay, today I've got a Campbell Hausfield hose reel, 50-footer. Came with this hose here. The hose has cracked on me right here. I could actually cut this off and replace it with another fitting since it's right here at the end. But if it did this here, the rest of the hose is probably old and ready to fall apart. So I'm just going to replace the hose. This had a piece on it right here, a stopper. The part that goes right here, it's a collar, got 2 screws in it. Just take the collar off. And then this here is actually fitted on the hose. First thing I want to do is take all of these screws out. You're going to have to use a bit, a long bit, or a long shaft screwdriver. And now we got the screws out. We can go ahead and pop this up off of here. Might have to take a screwdriver, take it under here, and pop that off and get that out of our way. Got a bar right here. This out of our way also. We take this bracket and get it out of the way. We'll go back here hooked up for the wall mount. We're going to leave the hose on there for now. I've never done this before. Okay, I've turned it over and I've taken off the plate here. What I'm going to do at this point, this is our inlet hose. We're going to go ahead and take it loose right here and take our hose off. Once you get it broke loose, just take your hose and just start turning it. Start twisting it. There you go. And we get this out of the way, throw it on the floor. We'll have to put that back on when we get the new hose back on there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little 90-degree fitting off. I'm going to be using a 17mm on this fitting here. Just hold this really good and tight. Turn it counterclockwise. When we put this back on, we're going to have to put some kind of sealant on here or some plumber's tape. Plumber's tape's all I got, so that's what I'll put back on there. Now that we have that off, we should be able to pull this straight up. Now we have our hose reel and our hose. Our spring is still intact here, so we don't have to mess with the spring or any of these screws right here. So now what we're going to do is just wind the hose off, unbolt it with our 14mm. Now I'm going to take and break this right here loose and get rid of this hose. Just hold it nice and firm. It is tight. Get rid of it. Okay, I've got this snap ring right here. Let's see what happens when we take this snap ring off. Okay, I've already got this broke loose and I can take this on out, but I'm going to go ahead and take the snap ring off just to see if it makes it easier. Cut it off. Put that out of the way. I'll have to feed some hose through here just to get this to come off. There we go. Now we got it up off there. That was a little bit easier. As you can see, there's 2 O-rings, one at the lower and one at the upper here. And here's where the air comes in. So those O-rings look good. We'll go ahead and put this Ultra Air Premium Hybrid air hose on there, 50 foot, about 3/8. Basically the same thing. It's just green. It's supposed to be more durable. It's supposed to be more flexible, you know, minus 140 to plus 150. Okay, I can already see that I'm going to have to move this little thing right here, this big rubber piece, because it will not fit through this hole right here. So, I'm going to push it through and get it out of the way. There we go. Now it should fit. Push it right inside there. Put some pipe tape on here and thread it into this brass fitting right here. I was actually able to squeeze this through that hole after I put this in there. I guess it wouldn't fit with this, but I squeezed it in. I'll see if I can get this on there like a little bit more protection. If it won't work, I'll pull it back out. Okay, I put this in the vise and I kept on tightening this up. I would take this out of the vise and untwist it because the hose does twist. Put it back in the vise and keep tightening. Now I'm ready to put it back in the reel. I got this sleeve here. We'll find out if that works or not. As you can see, I got it pushed up on there pretty far. Now let's just see if it works. Okay, it fit right in there. Okay, this is nice, but we can't use it. We're going to have to take it back off because the snap ring will not fit on there with the extra space. Okay, now there it is. Now the snap ring will fit on there. Since I took that rubber piece off, I will go ahead and shimmy it to the other side and cut it off with a pair of scissors. Okay, now that I got the snap ring back on, I'm going to go ahead and wind all of the hose on here, just rolling it like this. I'm going to take and push this all the way to the front. Okay, there it is, got it all wound up. Now we will go ahead and put everything back together. So the first thing I'm going to do is right here where my air fitting is, I'm going to take and drop it down on here. My 90-degree back on here. I'll put some Teflon tape around it. Hopefully it'll keep it from leaking. Remember, it takes a 17mm wrench. Snug this thing in. Okay. Get it to turn back around to right there where the hose comes in. Put some more on here. I just hope that it don't hope it don't leak. $14mm. We'll turn this over. We'll go ahead and put an end on this so I can test it and see if it leaks. Okay, I picked it up and took it over to my air compressor, plugged it in, checked it for air leaks. It does not leak. So right now what you want to do is crank it a couple times. Try and get a little bit of tension on it. That way you know it will pull back. We'll put a little bit more on there. It's got a pretty good spring in it. Pull it out till it clicks and stops. Now at this point, you can try and put your stopper on there. Go ahead and take and split your stopper. Okay, got it back together. Split right there, it's not hurting anything. Now we'll go ahead and put on the other half. Okay, make sure that you get your handle back in place. I got the cover. Go ahead. Make sure you get your bracket back in place. These little plastic washers here fit on the outside off the inside. It's a little spacer for this thing right here. So the nut will fit right down in there, like so. Let it hang down. I don't know if you can see that right there. This here is for your hose reel. Turn this back around here. What I'm going to do, if the hose comes out here, I'm going to go ahead and stick this in right here and hold on to it until I can get it down in this hole here. That way I know it's together. Okay, now what I'm going to have to do is take this cover right here off. This is where the spring is. I want to take and maneuver this to where it goes through this hole right here. This is falling out. Snap this one right here. Gotta get this in place. I want to show you this pin right here. Pin right there. It's got to be lined up inside here to where it fits in this so that it's centered on the inside. Well, it'll stay right there till I get some screws in it. I believe they're all tight. Put the plates back on it. There you go. Works. Okay, I'm going to cut this off of there. Okay, take my scissors here. Okay. Hey, there you go. Hope this helps. I'm going to put it back on the wall, subscribe, give it a thumbs up, give it a like.